Alrighty, party peoples of the interwebs, we are actively ushering in communism, and
many people do not seem to realize it.
Viva Frei, former Montreal litigator turned current Florida rumbler, in my home office, and I've got sort of a very finite period of time to do this vlog before it becomes unbearably hot in the car. I'm sure you have all seen this video coming out of Massachusetts, a man getting tackled by a very angry counter-protester at a pro-Israel rally or something along those lines. But the bottom line is, there was an argument from across the street, and the man who was clearly either anti-Israel or pro-Palestine, however you want to qualify it, runs across the street through traffic, tackles the man who got tackled while on the ground, shoots the man who tackled him in the belly, and then they break it up, they call the police, and the man who got tackled, who pulled out his pistol and shot his attacker in the stomach, got charged. I will show the video at the end of this vlog, but that pretty much describes it. It's not particularly graphic. You don't see blood or anything along those lines. You clearly see what happens here, and if this is not a case of clear-cut self-defense to the point where the man should never have been charged in the first place,
I don't know what self-defense is.
But the purpose of this vlog is not to do the breakdown as to whether or not this was a clean shot. For that, you can go to the Twitter feed or the YouTube account of Andrew Branca, The Law of Self-Defense. I am breaking this down from another perspective, that being the ushering in of communism, actual communism, in theory and in practice. And if you had any doubts about it, I'm going to read you a page out of Soros-Funded. I can't ever pronounce his name, the Gulag Archipelago. But before, let me read an article summarizing exactly what this guy's being charged with, because it's a little curious for those who don't really understand the law. By Ted Wayman and Jennifer Penate, Newton, Massachusetts. A Framingham man was charged after a confrontation and shooting at a pro-Israeli rally in Newton, Massachusetts on Thursday evening. Scott Hayes, 47, of Framingham, is charged with assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, as well as violation of a constitutional right causing injury following a violent confrontation, Middlesex County District Attorney Marianne Ryan said. Now, if you are anything like me, you are asking yourself, what on earth is violation of a constitutional right causing injury? So I had to go pull up the statute of Massachusetts in order to understand what that law is, and it reads as follows. Section 37, violations of constitutional rights punishment. Section 37, no person, whether or not acting under color of law, shall by force or threat of force willfully injure, intimidate, or interfere with, or attempt to injure, intimidate, or interfere with, or oppress or threaten any other person in the free exercise or enjoyment of any right or privilege secured to him by the Constitution or laws of the Commonwealth or by the Constitution or laws of the United States. Any person convicted of violating this provision shall be fined not more than $1,000 or imprisoned not more than 1 year or both, and if bodily injury results, shall be punished by a fine of not more than $10,000 or by imprisonment for not more than 10 years or both. So if I am understanding this correctly, the argument is that the guy who was counter-protesting at the pro-Israeli rally was exercising his constitutional rights to counter-protest. He was injured in that exercise of constitutional rights to counter-protest, hence the charge. But my goodness, when you see the video, you are going to say, how in the name of sweet holy hell was Scott Hayes charged with anything? At around 6:40 p.m. Thursday, Newton police responded to an altercation near Washington and Harvard streets in the Newtonville neighborhood. Ryan said a small group of pro-Israeli demonstrators were gathered at the street corner. According to Ryan's office, another man, identified in court documents as 31-year-old Caleb Gannon of Newton, was walking on the other side of the street when he began shouting comments at the demonstrators, and a verbal exchange ensued. Quote, the Newton man then ran across the street and tackled Hayes to the ground. An altercation followed, during which Hayes allegedly shot the Newton man, end quote, according to Ryan's office. Gannon was hit in the abdomen and received aid from Hayes and others at the scene. He was taken to an area hospital and is expected to survive his injuries. And just wait until you hear what the legal experts have to say as to the charges that Hayes is now facing. You won't believe it, but we should listen to it nonetheless. Legal expert Ben Megrian of Henning Strategies explained that the court will examine whether Hayes reasonably believed he was in imminent danger during the scuffle. Quote, what did he reasonably believe was happening at the time? Was he in a chokehold? Was he losing the ability to breathe? End quote, Megrian said. Newton Police Chief George McCain asked anyone who may have photos or videos or other information from this scene to contact the Newton Police Department Detective Bureau at 617-796-2104. So that is the essence. The man who's being attacked by a deranged lunatic who runs across 2 streets of traffic to tackle him has to determine how much danger is my life in right now before I pull out my pistol and shoot the guy who just crossed 2 lanes of traffic to violently attack me. Yeah, all right. I wonder what a jury is going to come to in this particular case, you watch the video at the end and you come to your own assessment. But the bottom line, Hayes was charged nonetheless. Now, he was released on $5,000 bond, so thank goodness for small miracles. But if you have any doubt that this is the ushering in of communism in real time, in theory and in practice, in the state of Massachusetts, in the state of New York, you haven't read the Gulag Archipelago. Now, neither have I, but I've read some highlights. I'm going to read you one right now to highlight exactly what is going on. The laws are being implemented to punish the law-abiding citizens defending themselves from the violent criminals, and the criminals themselves are being protected. Now, this came from someone on my Twitter feed, so thank you very much. I'm going to shout out their Twitter feed right now. The Grammatical Fiction at Coast Ghost. And he gave me the page of the book, and I had to go verify it just to make sure that it was in fact accurate, and it in fact is accurate. Solzhenitsyn, Gulag, Volume 1, page 504, and let's just read at the end here. Nor would they even think of bringing along a weapon, a knife, or a bludgeon for the Stolypin car or the transit prison. In the first place, why have one? And against whom? In the second place, if you did use it, then considering the aggravating circumstances of your malevolent Article 58, you might be shot when you were retried. In the third place, even before that, your punishment for having a knife when they searched you would be very different from the thief's. For him to have a knife was mere misbehavior, tradition. He didn't know any better. But for you to have one was, quote, terrorism, end quote. And we are seeing this throughout the states. The guy Penny on the metro station who subdued a crazy homeless person who then passed away charged. We saw it in Rittenhouse, who was defending himself against 3 violent criminals who were violently attacking him with the purpose of killing him. He was charged and ultimately found not guilty for reasons of self-defense. Thank goodness for small miracles. But we are witnessing the application of the law to penalize law-abiding citizens, to take away their God-given right to self-defense while empowering criminals to attack them basically with impunity. Now, I think the guy in this case did also get charged, but the idea that that guy got charged for assault or whatever, and this guy's getting charged for defending himself against the attack. He had to determine, was he losing breath as this nutcase charged him across the street? Somebody runs across the street and tackles you. I think you are safe to assume that your life is in danger. All it takes is one punch in the face and you falling back and hitting your head for you to die. Oh, but you need to take that chance. You need to, as Klaus said in the Rittenhouse case, sometimes you just need to take a beating. Only in a communist regime where people are not allowed defending themselves.
Minor injuries we've heard the defendant have. Again, Mr. Richards misstated the standard. It is not could have caused great bodily harm or death. It is not likely to have caused great bodily harm or death. It is imminent threat of death or great bodily harm. Where is that when you get a couple scrapes? Everybody takes a beating sometimes, right? Everybody takes a beating sometimes, right?
Everybody takes a beating sometimes, right?
Sometimes you get in a scuffle and maybe you do get hurt a little bit. That doesn't mean you get to start plugging people with your Full Metal Jacket AR-15 rounds.
This is insanity and nothing shy of insanity. And if you had any doubts and you disagree with my assessment, watch the video now at the end of this vlog and tell me what you think. But before you do that, take 5 seconds to make sure that you are subscribed, that you have notifications turned on. Drop a comment, give a thumbs up. If you want to get some merch, you can go to Viva Frei. If you want to support the work we do, you can support us at vivabarneslaw.locals.com. But the easiest and freest way to help is just share my channel with someone who you think would like it, but especially with someone who you think would not like it. But most importantly, exercise, eat healthy, sunshine, get out there and talk to people in real life. Now watch this video. Let me know what you think. Self-defense or aggravated assault and violation of constitutional rights causing bodily injury. My goodness, when you watch this video, not to persuade you, just watch the way the man puts away the firearm, tells the crowd, secure my pistol, after he deems his life to be no longer in threat. But my goodness, they still went out of the way and decided it was a good idea to charge this person communism in real time by these DAs. And I would be very interested to know if this DA or this prosecutor, whomever, if she has any ties to, I don't know, some sort of underhanded funding. I'm actually going to go check that right now. But that's it. That's the video. Enjoy the vlog. Peace out, peeps. Booyah! Actually, we are not quite yet done with this vlog. I just, out of morbid curiosity, started doing a very summary internet search to see if Marianne Ryan was somehow affiliated to George Soros or one of his entities. All right, check this out here. We're at MRC Newsbusters. That is Media Research Center, MRC, has identified 126 Soros prosecutors across the nation. Scroll down here just to see what the methodology is to be included on the MRC's list. A prosecutor must either have 1, received a direct campaign contribution from a Soros Soros-backed group or benefited from a Soros-backed group's independent expenditures in his or her election. 2, attended a private, quote, convening, end quote, of a Soros-backed prosecutor groups. Or 3, signed a pledge or statement from select Soros-backed prosecutor group. Many of the prosecutors, such as New York County District Attorney Alvin Bragg or Dallas County District Attorney John Krusel, fall into multiple categories. And then let's just scroll down. No, I went past it. No, I didn't. Scroll down. LM, Massachusetts. And who do we see right here? Marianne Ryan. It is confirmed, at least according to MRC. All right, and now the vlog is over. Watch the video. Let me know what you think. Peace out. Booyah!
You are sick.
We're sick?
I'm not sick. You are defending genocide.
Genocide?
Yes.
But you are so stupid.
Over 200,000.
You're so stupid. You're
200,000.
stupid. It's another man. Yo. Oh my God. Whoa.
Grab my pistol.
Oh my God.
Grab my pistol.
Oh my
Stop.
God.
Get off him.
What's
Stop.
that?
Get off him.
Yo. Let me back up. Yo.
Where's my pistol?
Oh my God.
Grab my pistol.
Oh my God.
Grab my pistol. Stop. Get off him. Stop. Get off him.
Call the cops.